All right, guys, we're back at it. So I may or may not have had an adult beverage or two tonight, and we're gonna play some games. I haven't played in like a really long time, although the last few days I've been playing again, and we're gonna jump into it. But first, I have a game that I want to show you. So I just played a couple games tonight. I'm feeling good, and I was like, all right, it's time to record. So let me first show you this game I just played. I'm pretty hyped on it. You can see my rating. I'm around 1550 right now. This was a lower rated opponent. 1489. So I'm changing the format of the series a little bit. So I played probably, let's say, 10 games off camera recently to get back into it. And I like really dipped down. I almost went back into like 1400s. And now I'm coming back up into like mid 15s. And I'm starting to feel a little better with it. So let's take a look at this French defense game. All right, guys. And actually, before we jump into the game recap, I want to explain what I meant by new format a little bit. So basically, I'm going to record some games off camera in the future, just when I feel like it, because there's actually a huge gap in my recordings where I had games recorded in April, and then I didn't record again until August. And I've mentioned this before on the channel, but I have some health issues. I'm recovering from chronic fatigue syndrome, and it can be hard for me I'm not always feeling good enough to like talk and speak and like be fun to be around on camera. So yeah, I had a huge gap there where there were some days where I was like, oh, maybe I'll play some chess, but I wasn't feeling good enough to like record. So yeah, this is going to be my remedy for that. So sometimes I'll just play chess off camera and then come back to you guys with the next episode and just give you an update on where the rating is at. And I'll let you know if any of those games were good or any learnings I had, if applicable. But yeah, I think that's going to help me keep some momentum going forward where I don't have like a huge gap like that again. And that is the plan. So now let's take a look at those games that happened off camera. All right, so here's the graph before, and here's the graph after. So I played 15 games off camera, and you can see I just have this huge downswing. So yeah, if you look at I have a little table where I keep track of everything. So I had a couple wins, then I had 5 straight losses, and that just like sunk me down almost into the 1400s. And then from there, I mostly rebounded. And I remember during those games, I mean, I was partly rusty, but also I definitely had quite a lot of brain fog. Like I was looking at the board and I was like, I can't really process this right now. So that's part of my health stuff, but whatever. We climbed back out of that. So that's the latest. Let's jump into this game recap. So I'll just give you some highlights. So this is all pretty standard opening stuff. Here I wanted to... the move order isn't super critical. It's fine. So I'm really trying to get a kingside attack going in this position. So I'm hoping that black castles and then we come get him. I'm also listening to some music tonight, which I was really feeling before I started recording. So we're going to keep listening to that. So yeah, attack continues. Now, once black castled, I was trying to figure out how am I going to break through here? Because like there's no Greek gift sacrifice because there's no pawn here anymore. I had to think like, well, what can I do? And I thought, oh, let's make a battery with the queen first, create a mating threat. So black decided to put their knight here. I'm not sure if this is correct. I think maybe they should have gone f5 actually. Because now if I do the battery, this is ineffective forever. If they go f5, I can play en passant. But then maybe they take this way and then maybe they go knight f5 and the knight would be much more solid. In order to kick that knight, I would have to do something like this. So, maybe some mistakes by my opponent, but yeah, we set up the battery, and now I have this tactic where I can try to attack this knight, and if the knight moves anywhere, we have queen here, checkmate, right? Okay, so they try to defend it by trying to clog up this square. How would you guys break through in this position? So h5. I don't know if this is the best move or not. I'm just showing you what happened in the game. But the idea here is if you take... well, actually, I don't know if this was quite the... Well, no, I think it is, actually. Because I was thinking about this, but if they take... No, yeah, I think this was good, actually. So if black had taken the pawn, I was planning to play bishop takes. You can't recapture because, once again, we have checkmate here. So by yeah, by removing this pawn from this square, we softened up the defense of this knight, uh, and we opened up this diagonal, right? So that enables us to take here. The rook has to move. You know, play would continue from there, but I think it's still looking good for us. Now here I got pretty aggressive because, like, hey, I have all this power. I want to take this pawn. For some reason, I didn't quite see I was going to be defending this, but or they would be defending it. But I decided, hey, let's add another attacker. My knight was undefended. We move it and we create another threat. Black adds another defender, and here I kind of paused and I was like, man, I don't know, how am I gonna like break through now? Like, it feels like I can't really sack here. I don't see what that does. If I take, they can take this way, and they're a little too, they just have just enough defense. That's when I realized it's time to reroute this knight over here to this side of the board. And you can see in this game, the problem is all of Black's pieces are on the wrong side of the board, and because of the pawn structure, they just aren't able to get over to the king side to come to the aid of their king. And meanwhile, all my pieces are just boom, ready to go. So we do the reroute plan, and now I'm threatening to just take this pawn and eventually do some sort of breakthrough. And Black does this Desperado. Really nice move, actually. So if I take, they can take and get rid of my strong bishop that's aiding this attack. Okay, wait, I have to take a quick pause because there's a really cool song on right now. I need to save it. This is the song, if anyone wants to know. All right, we're back. So instead, I could have taken here also. The problem is then they're going to sack for my crucial bishop here, right? So once they sack, I kind of lose the momentum. They're going to fork me here. I kind of lose a little too much attacking power, I felt like. So instead, I decided to take the pawn. They take my bishop, but now I'm all up in their business, man. So first of all, we can just take this rook, going up material there. Now it looks like we can take here and then maybe take here. But the problem is if we take here, this knight is hanging. So I thought, okay, let's fix that first. Let's go knight in. Then let's take. Black has to go rook back. And now I'm thinking again, like, you know, how am I going to continue this attack? Like if I go, I can't go here because the knight defends. The queen is nearby, so they kind of have a lot of defense. So I thought, you know what? What if we do a little rook lift? Okay. So that was the plan. Actually, before I came up with that plan, I didn't quite know what to do. And I did this to facilitate the rook lift, right? Because the bishop is controlling that square. So we kick the bishop away. We go for the rook lift. They're threatening the knight, but what would you guys do here? So the thing is, like, if they take and we recapture and, like, let's say queen check. Here, let me just do like a move. Okay, so takes. Let's say like queen check. All of a sudden, Black might be in trouble, right? So there's some tactics here, and all of this stems from the fact that Black's king is so vulnerable, and there's all these pieces in the way. So I improved the position. I brought the knight in because I realized, oh wait, I have an outpost here now. This is so strong. They can't. It's gonna be really hard for them to kick this knight away. So the king moves. And then now you guys tell me, what was the final move of this game? You ready? Look at this. Checkmate. Look at that. Look at that. I call this like an iron crossmate. If there's an official name, let me know. I don't know it, but yeah, really hype game. And now we're gonna play a real one live with perhaps with adult beverage in hand. We'll see. So let's fire one up. If you enjoyed that, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. We got more good stuff coming. So let's go.